Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And Merry Christmas. Got a little Christmas headscarf going here. Got the green earrings. You know, trying to be festive. So today we are going to discuss a controversial subject. So let's get right into it. Trigger warning though, some of you, this is going to be a difficult topic. And the topic is fruitcake. Because I like fruitcake. And I'm kind of tired of people dragging on fruitcake. I mean, I get it. I looked it up. The first joke, well, not the first joke probably, but the famous joke, 1989, Johnny Carson said, we're all passing around the same fruitcake. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I think he said there was only one fruitcake and we all just keep passing it back and forth. I get it. It's been the butt of jokes for years, but let's face it, guys, it's fruit and cake, right? How bad can it be? And actually, this one here, let me see if you guys can get it. I mean, look at that. This is a $4 slab that I got from Walmart. It's no special brand. It's like Walmart's brand, right? Beautiful that is. This is the M piece, my favorite piece. I mean, how bad can it be, right? And this one, I was pretty impressed. This one actually had bits of pineapple in it, which was kind of new to me. So yeah, I like fruitcake. This time of year, everybody starts to make fruitcake jokes, and like you see fruitcake in stores, and then people are like, ooh, fruitcake. But I'm surprised how many times I say to people, oh, you don't like fruitcake? And they're like, I've never actually had it. Therein lies the problem. I mean, it's, like I said, it's fruit and cake, right? With nuts, right? So I did a little digging into the history of fruitcake. It's kind of fascinating, actually. It was originally, well, okay, first of all, the first fruitcake recipe is from ancient Rome, and it's very similar to what we eat now, but not exactly. But by the 1800s and the Victorian era, fruitcake was used to celebrate something, which is why you get it at Christmas, but it was also very often a wedding cake. And even before that, in the historic United States, it was usually a wedding cake. I'm going to link below a video from the Townsend Kitchen, which is this guy who cooks all this early American food. If you are interested in food history at all, he is fascinating to watch. And the recipes he pulls out, he gets all these historical documents, but he has an excellent video about the making of two cakes. And the thing that was so interesting about it, it was for a wedding and it was fruitcake, and a slave that was a chef made two cakes, one for the slaves and one for the wedding guests. And she switched them by accident. And this was a big deal. But they follow that recipe. So I'm going to link that below because it was fascinating to watch the recipe and what they were talking about. So fruitcake. Here's the thing about fruitcake. I know we all think, oh my God, my neighbor gave me a fruitcake. Oh, wow. We need to rethink that, because when I was like looking at all this history of fruitcake, one of the things that stood out to me as a chef was all of the stuff that goes into a fruitcake is your most expensive stuff. It's the stuff you save for a special occasion or to gift to somebody. You have dried fruit, which means you either had to grow it, pick it, whatever, and then dry it yourself. You may have bought some of it, like maybe raisins. It had nuts. Well, not even nuts. It had what we call nut meats. Nut meats are when you chop the nuts pretty small. It's called nut meat. Again, that meant you had to grow the nuts, cure the nuts, crack the nuts, chop the nuts. And then most fruitcakes called for brandy or whiskey, cognac, some of them. So again, another expensive ingredient. So back in the day, when your neighbor gave you a fruitcake, you should have been honored. They were basically giving you all of their best stuff. The stuff they worked the hardest on, the stuff that was the most expensive, the stuff that they had to save up in order to make a fruitcake. So you needed to be honored. So that's how we should think about fruitcake. So during all this history, I was also looking at all the different kinds. Like Europe does it differently than we do. Sometimes they soak them. Sometimes they light them on fire. There's all kinds of stuff. the thing about fruitcake is because I come from an Italian family, we have something called panettone, which is this beautiful, it's actually an egg bread that's full of nut meats and dried fruit. And you get it at Christmas time. And it is fabulous. In fact, I used to, for years, when my nephews were small, for Christmas Day, for the morning, I would make baked French toast using panettone. And I'd buy a panettone, I'd let it sit out, I'd let it get a little stale. I would put the whole thing together and we'd bake it and we'd have it for breakfast. And it was delicious. It was out of this world. Another similar kind of bread to fruitcake was Stollen. If you're German, you know what Stollen is. It's like a very dense bread. Again, fruit and nut meats, right? With powdered sugar, things that were like hard to find. So all of fruitcake has its history in kind of this European tradition. And then it jumped the Atlantic, obviously, came to the colonies, and we started doing it our way. I think that's when it actually became round, because all of the British ones seem to be a loaf, whereas when you look at the American fruitcakes, they're all round. Then there's the addition of things that weren't around, like they're not my favorite, but maraschino cherries. Okay, they're not my favorite. My favorite thing in the fruitcake is actually something called citron. Citron is this candied lemon peel, candied orange peel. I've even seen lime citron where it's like candied lime. Absolutely delicious. And like I said, this one was unusual because it had pineapple in it. When I was looking for fruitcake recipes on YouTube, I saw a Jamaican fruitcake recipe and I was like, oh yeah, I want to try that one. So now that you know a little bit more about the history of fruitcake, I hope that you will try it. I hope that you will buy somebody a fruitcake. And if you receive a fruitcake, please be really like, be excited, be happy that these people thought so much of you that they would buy you a cake that had all of the best stuff in it, all the fruit, the nuts, and the brandy that they saved for a year, and they would give it to you. In my links below, I'm going to put the link for Vermont Country Store. They have an entire page of fruitcakes. Like I said, they have the British ones that are more of a long loaf. They have the round ones that are the American style. I have had their fruitcake before. It was actually their own brand. They have their own brand, and it was the non-alcoholic one. They do make a tipsy one. You'll notice all of their fruitcakes are tipsy and non-tipsy, so you can choose which one you'd like to try. They're also all on sale right now because fruitcake has such a bad name, right? Okay, but it's really good. I mean, look at this. Guys, look at this. Watch me. Look at how moist this is. And this isn't even an expensive fruitcake. It's delicious. It was like I was saying, it's the one from Walmart. By the way, the end pieces with butter, absolutely out of this world. And as if I haven't said enough nice things about fruitcake, let me remind you that if you were thinking about doing a cleanse for New Year's, just buy some fruitcake when it goes on sale, because between the nuts and the dried fruit, it's the best tasting cleanse you're going to find. So yeah, this will keep you regular, as we used to say, because it's roughage. Remember roughage? Until my next video, which will probably be Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well. Sorry, I'm eating now. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're staying well. Stay warm. It's got cold today in New Jersey. Cold and gray. That's New Jersey's. That's pretty much the weather all winter in New Jersey. And please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know if you like fruitcake, if you like Stollen, any of them, okay? Until the next video, I hope everybody stays well. Get yourself some fruitcake. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.